It's time for a video game related video, and it's heavily focused on Mario this time. It's on Super Mario Maker. It turned 10 years old. Now, I'm sure people are going to say the Super Mario Bros. Series is turning 40 years old. Where's the video? That video will be coming next month, in which I won't reveal until that comes. But for today, I'm covering Super Mario Maker, and as an added bonus, I'll throw in its sequel, Super Mario Maker 2. Since this video can't be super short, I think 2 video game reviews for one will be a good one to cover. So, let's cover both games of Super Mario Maker. Super Mario Maker doesn't have a story because it's mainly a create-your-own type game. And Super Mario Maker 2 does have a story mode where they help to rebuild Peach's castle. Okay, nothing major, but I do like they added a story mode that the first one didn't have. Anyways, let's get into Super Mario Maker Began. The game was announced back at E3 2014 with the title Mario Maker. It started off as a rumor after a photo was taken, but the game was real. In the trailer, they show the classic Super Mario Bros., but then they showed the tooling aspect in a way to create your own Mario levels. And I will admit, it was cool to see a Mario game that's different. Plus, it actually gave me Mario Paint vibes, in which the designer wanted to make a follow-up, and that's how Super Mario Maker was made. At E3 2015, the game retitled the name Super Mario Maker attached to it. The reason why it took a year to work on it because it had to coincide with the 30th anniversary of Super Mario Bros., in which it makes sense. And thus, the game was released on Wii U, and it comes with a booklet when you buy the game. So, when I got this game with my Christmas money, I was excited to play this game, in which I admire the tools to use to create your own Mario levels, but I'm usually not a big creative person to make Mario levels. You spend 5 minutes and you unlock new tools, and it takes 9 days to complete them, in which I did complete those, and I did play around making levels. One thing I do like is that you can even change different art styles, in which there's 4. Super Mario Bros., Super Mario Bros. 3, Super Mario World, and New Super Mario Bros. U, in which I like that they picked those. But yeah, the editing and creating levels are the most important part in the game, but it's not my favorite part in the game. My favorite part is playing people's levels. Yes, this game does have online functionality from Chorus World. When I heard that the game was going to have a way to play people's levels, I was like, that's one part that makes me want to play for weeks or months. And thus, I did play a lot of people's levels. And I will admit, the levels that players made are really good at creating levels. I played hard levels, they did, and it felt rewarding after finishing a hard level. The one thing I don't like is troll levels. I just don't want to play those and try something else. But yeah, playing people's levels are pretty fun during its run. But unfortunately, the online servers were shut down back in 2024, meaning that you cannot play people's levels. Well, it had a good run. I have very little to say about the graphics and the gameplay because it's great. I even like small niche new things like Skinny Mario or a Goomba on a Koopa clown car. Other than stock music, the title screen theme of Super Mario Maker is really good. A good original piece of music. But yeah, Super Mario Maker was a fun one and definitely worth it if you're willing to play levels from players. I'm so glad that the game did sold very good on Wii U, selling 4 million worldwide, making it number 7 of best-selling Wii U games. But we're not done with the first game. Nintendo ported the game on the Nintendo 3DS titled Super Mario Maker for 3DS. Yeah, they could have picked a creative title. The game was released in December 2016, in which when I heard the announcement, I didn't want to play another Mario Maker game. And besides, the Wii U works better on the TV and on the gamepad, but I guess it works for the stylus. Since the video can't go short, let's talk about Super Mario Maker 2. This got announced back in February and released in June 2019 on a Nintendo Switch. I did get excited because it was a new Mario Maker game and not repeating the first. They did add slopes and auto-scroll direction during the editor and adding new enemies, themes, and items. one new art style they added was Super Mario 3D World, which, interesting choice. Surprised they didn't add Super Mario Odyssey, but beggars can't be choosers. They still have online functionality where you play people's levels, and it's still fun as always, and you can play as of today, in which I still like it. Now let's get to the story mode, another great part about the game, where you can play the courses throughout the story mode in order to collect coins to rebuild the castle, in which that part is still fun. Glad Nintendo added that single player campaign in a creation system game, and it sold pretty good at over 8 million units worldwide. But yeah, the Super Mario Maker games are interesting. I can't say they're the most mind-blowing games, but I like they use the tooling aspect in a way for people to create and make Mario levels they wanted to do for years. And while I didn't create or make a great level, there are elements that makes the game fun and very complex. Do I recommend it? Only if you're dying to try a Mario game that looks unique, or if you want to build a level. Now, will Nintendo ever make a third Super Mario Maker game? It is possible if they make one. The Super Mario Bros. Series is turning 40, and the new Nintendo Switch 2 just came out, and they could add a new art style like Super Mario Bros. Wonder that came out a couple of years, so maybe they'll include that. But yeah, that was my short review of Super Mario Maker 1 and 2. I had to get both games out of the way, so I couldn't leave one without the other. But happy 10 years to Super Mario Maker. That is all for this, and I have another video game review coming later this month. I'll see you all in the next one.